Hello everyone, I am Tacit and welcome to the Gems of War Campaign 13, Week 3, Day 4. So today, we're mostly going to be doing out the class events, also going to be trying to be opening a bunch of Volkies. Of course, we got a bunch of them last weekend, and still have many more to still go and open. And we got pretty lucky at the end of last night's stream as well, getting the good old Major Glory, which is pretty much the main one we want to be seeing. There's a few other good ones too, but it's definitely pretty high up there on the priority list of things to find. And how many does that bring us to now? I think we used like 2 or 3, and we currently have 3 of them, so I think that's 6 total then. I believe I've used 3 and we have 3. But yeah, we could definitely use some more. Could definitely use more of them, that's for sure. And that will be the goal when we were trying to get them, of course. Anyways, let's go and mess with the class event first, of course, from the weekly video. We already have our team good to go. Unfortunately, we can't run Atlanta for this, as it is restricted specifically to centaurs from the Divinian Fields. So unfortunately, she is not a centaur. Centaur typing in general just being among one of the weaker types within the game, which is kind of unfortunate, but is indeed the case. What do I need to change here? Anything? No, I should be good to go. Yeah, we'll just leave it as is. Alright, let's go. I was thinking maybe tweaking it out for a different damage source, but should be fine. But anyways, hello everyone! Hope all you guys been doing well. Hello Ricardo, hello Ginky, hello it's YouTube Flames, hello Supernova, hello Jonian, hello Logic Slayer, hello everyone, welcome. Alright, right off the bat, we're basically just looking for Black Manacle, cast it, win. And rinse repeats, it is the game plan. It should be pretty easy. Obviously, we mostly just do this for the 25 free gems. And pretty much no other reason other than the 25 free gems, because the class XP we don't need. Because we've already maxed them all. Ooh, good old Valraven. Keep on to cast that as if it has like full mana immediately. It does not. Oh, gosh, this board's bad. Our first move didn't really help it. Is it purple or brown? We probably want to take it every time. Particularly purple since it bleeds into the other one if we end up needing another cast. Hello Tyrion! Welcome. Good old Valraven again. Though luckily this does have a guarantee number of Valravens. We mostly just need to make sure we don't let them get away. As we have done that occasionally. And it's very unfortunate when it happens. Because it 100% of the time gives you enough Valravens to be able to get to the goal. Which is of course to get to just tier 4 so you get to 25 free gems. The problem with that though is they can still run away, of course. They're still very runnable. Did I remember the song? Oh no, I didn't look up the song yet. I'll need to 100% for tomorrow night's stream. How about that? Oh, so we have an arena event going on next weekend. Which means we basically have no event going on next weekend. Or this weekend, I should say. Which I believe even in game it shows that now. Let me go double check. But it should be an arena event. So we'll try to sing it tomorrow. Could you, I'm not sure if you already have, because I haven't checked Discord for a couple days. But could you send me the link on Discord and I'll go look at it? Unless you already have, in which case I'll go check it. You like barely use Discord. Hello Stacy! Hello Sushi Ninja! Hello Jose! Hello everyone! Welcome. Oh, you already did? Okay, I'll check it later. That's funny. I'll definitely have to check it later. And don't worry, I will do it this stream. Or, I mean, this weekend, I mean. I'm streaming this weekend. Oh, don't live with 2 HP. Luckily, that's not the Valraven. The Valraven's pretty squishy overall. It's good for us. Wait, do we have all of our battles ready? No. Wait, we still need to find 2 more. That makes sense, we're only on the 3rd set. I was gonna say, we should have enough brown mana. We have enough purple too, as long as it surges. In the case of both instances. Ah, one short. That doesn't give it... Oh, yeah, it does, because he explode adjacent. Good old Doom Skull. He keeps barely surviving. Luckily, the skull right there allows us to take it out. Did you see the free champion Minecraft Pokemon? No. You mean the Minecraft cow thingy? Or are they doing some kind of event for it this weekend? I haven't actually played Scarlet and Violet since last time's stream. I played it once all month. And that day was when we got Master Rank in singles and doubles. With like 80-something win rate or whatever we did. I'll definitely need to claim that code then. I'll do it later. Right when I'm checking Genki song. But honestly, I feel like the same thing is happening with Scarlet and Violet that happened with, or at least how I felt with Sword and Shield, where I played it like crazy for like a month, and then barely played it since, and then came back to it like a couple years later after the DLC and just played it like crazy. So I actually will be playing that game's DLC when it initially comes out. For Sword and Shield, I waited till like 2 years after after the fact. It was out for like 2.5 years, and I was like, I should probably go get around to it already. Let's see, we'll take the purple. So why did I not just take the brown? We could have already won this turn. Just a few more left and we'll get our free daily 25 gems, or more like Thursday. This is not our daily. Alright, what do we even need here? We'll take our skull. Our yellow. Oh, should have went for the mana drain in case he went for it. I mentioned it earlier, but I actually do really enjoy the mana drain gem. It's among actually one of my favorite gems they've added so far. Like, it's very strong, but doesn't feel too strong. But it's still very impactful. It's probably among one of my favorite power gems. I'm not sure what my absolute favorite has been so far. Dragon gems were definitely very disappointing. They are almost as bad as bomb gems. Not as bad as bomb gems, because they're basically... they're one of the worst in the entire game. But they were almost as bad as bomb gems, which is kind of unfortunate. They were basically bomb gems that could be matched as a color. Obviously, that's not the mechanic they do, but that's what they felt like. They both have a rather useless explode, but at least with the dragon gems, you can still match them with a corresponding color. Whereas the bomb gems are kind of counterproductive, because you have to do a bunch of gem destroy or explodes to even trigger them, and their effect is just to do even more explosions. So what benefit do you get from that if you're just doing more explosions to trigger something that already does more explosion? Doesn't make any sense. I said hello, Cookie! Hello, Supernova! Welcome, welcome. I said hello, Ricardo. Alright, there we go. Is that all of it? That should be all of it. Perfect. Alright, we got our 25 gems. Anyways, on to other things. Let's go clear out Adventure Board. We do have a few little knick-knack stuff here, and we're already on Magnesia team, so we'll go clear it out with this real quick, go clear out our other daily, and then we can start getting some Valky openings. I did 100 last night. We might do 100 again tonight. Because this is a pretty uneventful week, so we have plenty of time to just grind whatever we feel like it. And given that we just had a Vault weekend last weekend, definitely want to start consuming those Vault keys, especially since we know the next Vault event is right around the corner. March 3rd. That's pretty much like soon. Very soon. Ridiculously soon. And because of that, I do want to chip down our Vault key stack a little. Possibly even all the way down to 1,000 by then. Which should be pretty easy. We did 100 yesterday, probably doing 100 today. I'm not sure how much of the arena event we're doing this weekend, but if we don't do that much of it, we'll probably get like 200 across the weekends as well. Yeah, just keep chipping at it. Had 2 hellos. Did I actually say hello twice? My bad. Double the hello. No one on PC Mobile has seen Empress and the Vault keys. Yeah, I haven't seen it. I've been doing quite a bit of them. So of course that's not what I'm trying to find, but from what I've seen, I heard some people mentioning earlier that they are, but at least on PC Mobile, I've not seen them. You have orders to medal or mythic. Any suggestions? Or you have the orbs to do so. Phoenicia is always a good pick. Either Phoenicia or not Lord of Slaughter. Either Phoenicia or Scourge of Honor. I like the standard good AoEs, or Diamantia if you happen to be lucky enough to have Diamantia. But any of those are pretty good. Diamantia, Phoenicia, or Scourge of Honor. Aside from that, I personally like Arachne Weaver a lot. Not only does it make its kill range better, but it makes it easier for it to get the web spinner summon and just everything else like that. So I would definitely highly advise Arachne Weaver. As it might not seem like a lot of stats, but it makes a pretty huge difference on his impact. Okay, so moment of truth. 2 days ago, we got top 3. Yesterday, we got top 3. Can we get the all-elusive triple top 3? Because if we do, we will hand out 3 redeem codes, like right now. Maybe not all like right now, but you know what I mean. But let's see what we get, please. No! Oh, already failed. Oh, ultra fail. Watch his bottom 3. Oh, it almost was. It almost was. Okay, that's annoying. That's like the exact opposite of what we want to say. Okay, now we got to deal with Zul'Goth. You know what? I mean Silence, I mean. So much so, I'm actually just going to switch to Pure Cleanse just so we don't have to deal with it. I'm looking for games. No, yes, that's correct. We got 2 top 3s in a row. Apparently we can't get lucky enough to get all 3. It's worth a shot. That'd be funny if we actually got it, though. Not quite. So hello, Henry! Welcome, welcome. Hope all's been well. Oh, you need to not die. You also need to summon, but you're not summoning anything. No! You died. Moments like this, we should have a fully traded Zul'Goth. Oh, I just realized what our problem is. We have 20% less stats and silence. Ooh, that's rough. That's an unfortunate combination to have. Good, we got the turn 1 cleanse. He missed Mercy this time. I go get rid of his high score reduction troop first. We can actually hit things. Yeah, there we go. That went way smoother this time, gosh. Way, way smoother. A bit of a miss on weapon. Come on, 1 HP. I mean, 1 mana, I mean. Very unfortunate. Somehow you got back to 123 perfect runs, and today you pulled a Tacit. Or 1, 2, 3 runs, you mean. That's funny. I will throw the Angry Mob there. Yeah, Isabel's still not feeling well. So hello, Clip Bomb. Welcome, welcome. So hello, Jay. How are your dungeon levels so high? Basically, there's a % chance every single day that you can get downwards or upward steers. You want to keep taking the ones that go downwards. And every time you do, it'll increase by 1 level. And it caps at 20, which is what we're currently at. It can take about 2 to 3 months to find that many of them. like some people about a month, but I would say the general average luck is around 2 months. And it can take up to 3. But basically, just whenever you see a downward stairs, always take it, and don't take the upwards ones. Basically, if it's a blue stairs, don't take it. If it's like an orange colored stairs, do take it. And eventually you'll get your thing very high level. Of course, it makes it quite a bit harder, but you do get slightly more loot for it. Whenever you get a perfect, you get more Dragonite. Like, we get 120 per perfect. We also get slightly more diamonds and shards and all that. Not a huge amount, but it adds up over time. It does make these take a little bit longer, but it's perfect for a little bit extra loot. Especially since there's only 3 of them every day anyways. There we go. And we'll keep still doing Dragonite for a little while. Though after next Vault event, I don't think we're going to do Dragonite ever again. Which will be nice to finally be at that point. You know what? I actually misclicked this. But yeah, let's go into this one. The reason I want to go do this is I think my guild still needs our help. They kind of do. Yeah, we might as well do our battle. It's pretty straightforward this week. Might as well. Yeah, let's go help our guild. Yeah, I'll go for the convert. Mostly for the more damage. Oh, I thought that was aligned on the other one. Whoops. I was doing that for the enrage bonus and then going into the poke, but not exactly what I wanted. Also, how long is your turn going? Gosh. Yeah, pretty easy world event. Generally, anytime we have like spell damage onto something like this, it tends to be pretty easy. Can you craft an egg? Both of you guys get streamer luck today? Are we going to try for the triple streamer luck? I'm willing to make a bet we will not get it. Though I do have a higher chance of being right. I could try though. I have 5 eggs. 1 wouldn't hurt. Yeah, I need brown dragon. It's not going to happen though. It's very much not brown. I opened 1. There we go. And got a useless green. Yeah, we're never getting that brown dragon. I can open all 4 of those eggs and we won't have brown dragon. Is Dawnbringer still worth it? Yes. It's mostly ran for Thursday class events, but there are some niche situations where you run it as well. Actually, one of them is right now. Oddly enough, I didn't even realize it. But, yeah, Dawnbringer is very situational. But I would say it's still worth eventually getting. It's not, like, super high priority. Like, at one point in the game, I would say it was, like, one of the things you wanted to prioritize. It's definitely something you eventually want to get, but it's not a big deal, like, when you end up getting it, ultimately. But you do eventually want to have it. I mostly only use it for Thursday class events, like today, though I didn't use it for today's one. I used Black Manacle instead. But there's some days where it works pretty good for it. And there's just some niche events where you're restricted out to other stuff where it can be decent. It's also still the second strongest full AoE weapon in the game, with the strongest being 5 higher mana cost than it. So it's a pretty good option if you're just looking for a big burst of damage off of a hero AoE. And I believe it's only 2 lower than the one that's like 5 higher mana cost than it, making an overall better ratio than the other one as well, on top of its already high damage. Do we want to convert here? Yeah, we do, because we have alignment over there. Still need slightly more mana. You know, I'm going to take it preemptively, just so Enchant can get it all the way up. Which I don't even need it. Use Dawnbringer, we'll just kill it out. Right, 2 more fights. And then when we check it tomorrow, the guild should have it done. At least ideally. I'll take that over. Again. I barely lives. I should have went for Dawnbringer, but might have been more damage there. But then again, with his boost ratio, maybe he actually was more damage there. I think he gets like 6 or 9 more damage to all enemies. Oh wait, we actually got another Valriven there? Nice. Went up quite a bit then. Yes, hello Draco! Welcome, welcome. What do we need here? Throw that down. Alright, let's go. Oh no, I hate when it does that. When the explosion at the start of battle gets in the way of your, what would have been your Empower Convert. Didn't really matter though, luckily. Alright, final world event fight. Then we'll go hand out a code, and in that case, we're going Volky diving. And see what we can get. To be honest, you've learned to love that they have some events every week, same day. Oh yeah, they're pretty convenient because you always know what's going to be coming. The more annoying one, I would say, is like Friday events because they're kind of ambiguous as to what it will be some weeks. It's not as predictable as many of the other events within the game. For example, tomorrow I believe we have an arena. And it even says it right here. But prior to like yesterday, I don't think you could even seen in game that it was going to be arena. Like we already knew. But you know, within the game itself, it's not really that obvious that it was going to be an arena event until like 1 or 2 days beforehand when there's like a little event thingy for it. Anyways, alright, let's go ahead to the code and let's go do a bunch of Volkies. Is that pretty much everything completed? Oh wait, we're getting another pet on Wednesday? Oh yeah, wasn't this the Australia Day pet? Or did we already get that? Wait, what's this pet for? Wait, which pet is this? Is this the Australia Day pet or is this something else? Let's see. Let me check. Alright, let's see. Let's go to troops. No, wait, I don't need troops. I need weapon. No, I need pet. I will eventually click the right tab. It doesn't even say what it's from. That's weird. It just says cosmetic. Oh, duh! It's from the New Kingdom pet. Ah. Yeah, this is a New Kingdom pet. I was like, wait, I thought we already had the other thing. But yeah, it's the New Kingdom's pet. That makes sense. I didn't think they would do one immediately, but that makes sense. Yeah, on Wednesday, we're already getting a new pet for the kingdom. That's coming out next week. Yeah, next week we have a lot going on. This week, not so much. Next weekend, a billion things. Or next week in general, a billion things. Anyways, let me go get our Phoenicia queued up, and let's go into the code. Just go dig it up, as I don't have the code section open at the moment. Oh, yes, I do. Never mind. I'm gonna go grab you guys a good old code. And here you guys go. Use on gemsofwar.com for the game code section. Your invite code can be found underneath your settings menu. Redeem code is right over there in chat. Just copy paste random numbers and letters. You give the same word as always. 2 treasure maps, 1 gem key, 200 souls, and 2,000 voucher gold. Enjoy, everyone. Yeah, it's part of the new Fox Kingdom. Let's see if we can get lucky today. We got pretty lucky last night, if nothing else. The major gold at the end. Now we're slowly working our way up to slightly better orbs. Slowly but surely. Volposia? Oh, is that what the pet is called? I didn't even look at its name. No Isabel, no Link. But same spot as always, Gems of War underneath the game code section. Or gemsofwar.com, I should say. You used to at one point be able to claim it in-game. It was against Apple's terms of service, so they eventually had to take it down though. And move to their own website. We're getting a lot of major orbs. We've gotten a different one every single time. Let's hopefully keep that up, because if we keep getting a different one every single time, it's a lot of juicy ones to be getting. So far we've gotten 3 major orbs and a different drop each time. And I wouldn't mind that persisting forever. Because that would actually give us a really high chance of getting the new ones. Or the actually good ones. It's not going to happen that way, but one can hope. Oh, we got to use this ingot. Oh yeah, I do have the number tracker up. Let's go update it. Let's add it to the ingot pile. 105. There we go. Oh wait, that is still a unique one. 4 major orbs, 4 different drops. Now, can we start getting into the good ones? It's eventually going to repeat us a horrible one, though. But so far, we're 4 for 4 on different orbs for majors. And we're almost depleted all the bad ones, so hopefully we'll get the good ones now. We got orange, green, purple, blue. And now they're just going to stop dropping completely. That sounds about right. What weapon would you advise to craft first of the Curse Breakers? For the most part, I don't know, they're all very situational. Some are better than others, but when you use them is also situational. I remember the hammer being particularly good. Was the hammer brown or blue? I think it might have been brown. But it's one of the situations where it's almost stronger than the hammer weapon type. So there's actually a type of weapons that are considered like the third best, I would say, and they're considered the hammers. But the Cursebreaker version of the hammer is almost better, or at least situationally better, than the other version of the hammer. And I think it's either brown or blue. I think it was brown. Oh, why did I do that instead of taking red? It's mana I needed, but could have gone into both. I can't wait till we have a Diamantia. We need it so badly. There's so much endgame content we could do once we have a Diamantia. Not that we can't already do it, but I mean like speed-wise that we could do. But we're still missing the good old Diamantia. So once we have it, we are going to be using it so much. I'm going to try not to build teams around it whenever I do teams videos. For all the people that don't have it. Because, gosh, is it strong. It is very, very strong. There's a non-zero chance you won't use any of them. I don't know, I've used the Curse Breakers in the past. It is very, very situational. Because they're pretty much exclusively Guild War weapons, with a few niche exceptions. And even then, it's situational if they would come into your team or not. Because obviously in Guild War, you're using 4 of the same color, so having a weapon that only uses one color, it can be kind of clunky sometimes. One of the only few exceptions to that is like Essence of Evil, because it mana accumulates for itself. Same as Mirror Reflection for the same reason. But a lot of those 18 mana cost single color weapons, they're hard to use on Guild War days. It's because your entire team is already that color. And if you put it in first slot, you're risking like Elementalists not being able to get it off Entangles and other stuff like that. I'm not sure why I already clicked on that. I don't think you need to when they get shuffled. I always do as if you need to, but I don't think you actually need to re-click on it when its position changes. They're mostly used for the offense of Guild Wars. I mean, for Guild Wars, yeah. Not the defense. The main reason being is they actually benefit you more. It's kind of like inverse book. Curse Breakers are basically the opposite of books. Curse Breakers benefit most when your team is pure color. Whereas books benefit most... Ah, I finally got to repeat one. But Curse Breakers benefit most when your whole team is the same color. Whereas, Curse Breakers do that, and then the books do it the other way around, where the enemy team's color being the same benefits you. So they actually help you more out offensively than defensively when it comes to Guild War. Like, they do have some properties to them that can make them usable on defense. But compared to Book, you would never want to run them. Book is just stronger. But when you are attacking another team, having a pure color team with a Curse Breaker weapon on it can be good in some situations. Because that's 4 times blessed to the same color. If you're using like the brown one, you can 4 times bless your entire team. Particularly useful on like red when you might not have the access to it as much. But that's pretty much the easiest way to think about that weapon. It's the opposite of Book. Though Book is just way, way better, though. I am really curious to see what the next category is going to be. We're getting the final weapon of the dagger on the next event, which is in 7 weeks from now or so. And after we get that, we are going to be getting a new category of Doom weapon after that. We might even be able to see it after the next patch or two, what this new category is going to be. Like, so far, they've done a lot of really bad Doom weapons in a row. The last time we've gotten a good Doom weapon... Actually, you know how long it's been? The last time we've gotten a good Doom weapon, specifically as a result of Dooms. Or the books. That is how long it has been since we've gotten a good Doom weapon. Books were actually the most recent one. And they've been around for years. Like, what, 4 years now? That's how recent the most recent good Tower of Doom weapon is. We have gotten good Doom weapons since then. The Cursebreakers. The Cursebreakers we got a little over a year ago. I believe that was December of last year. And by last year, I don't mean like last year, but the year before last year. Like a year and 2 months ago. Like in that month, we ended up getting a patch that gave us the Cursebreaker weapons. But that was not as a result of Doom event. That was as a result of just a patch through the Soulforge. It wasn't actually a result of the event that they normally originate from. So not counting those, it's been like 4 years since we've gotten a good Doom weapon. In all fairness, there's just not that many. Plus their rotation is like a 1-year cycle. So if we get like 2 or 3 bad weapons in a row, it feels like forever, which is the current state that we're in. Yellow curse weapon, max hits. Yeah, I did use that the other day. One of my event teams, I believe, last week ended up using the yellow curse breaker weapon. I was going to put a cheaper option there, but I was like, I was going to plop this down and just mention you can replace it with something cheaper. Because it's actually pretty good for the team. Yeah, they're situational, but they definitely do get their use from time to time. The biggest weird thing about the curse breakers, though, is they're not all equal. I think purple was the absolute worst because it does like split damage or something. Oh wait, what did you mention about sound? Wait, are we muted? It doesn't look like we're muted. I'm checking the sound thingy right now. I don't know, are we muted? It doesn't look like it. What's wrong with sound? What's going on with the sound? Come on, we haven't got a single good orb all day. We haven't gotten anything lucky today. We didn't get the Gem Dragon when we tried one earlier, as Genki suggested. We haven't gotten a single good orb. I definitely want to do at least 29 more Vault Keys. Might do a bit more than that as well. Oh, the problem with the sound is I didn't say hello to Bill Warhammer. Hello, Bill Warhammer! Welcome, welcome. You're always first to such a degree that I always forget when you're not. Because I always just assume you're here at the beginning of the stream. So when you say hi later on, it's like, oh yeah, you're already here earlier. Bill Warhammer is always first in our hearts. Pretty much. If anyone has any question or anything else you want me to go over, let me know. Like, similar to yesterday, we're probably just like mass opening Vault Keys. So if we get a really good drop, we'll go hand out a redeem code. If we get one of the big 3, which are Major Glory, Major Silver, and well, not Major Silver, but you know, if we get the Silver or Gold Glory Orb, or Major Pet Orb, we'll hand out an extra code. I'll do it every time we get one, assuming we even get one. Who knows? We could get 0, could get like 3 of them. So far, our luck has not been good tonight. We pretty much got nothing of value in all the grinding we've done, other than just generic resources. As far as like the big ticket ones, haven't gotten anything particularly good tonight. You have a question? Thoughts on the next mythic? I don't think I looked at it yet. You get to choose what spell you do with it. Ooh, those are fun. That is a mechanic we're going to be getting quite a bit of soon. I believe the New Kingdom is heavily based on it. I haven't actually read over each of their abilities yet. I assume the new mythic is associated to the New Kingdom based on the fact that it's an either-or mechanic. But I'll give it a look real quick. I'm not going to look at the other ones, but I will go look at the mythic. Hey! Okay, well, let's hand out an extra code. It's not a gold, but hey, it's a silver. That's almost as good. There you guys go. Have an extra code. And if we get other big ones, we'll hand out a code too. I have quite a few spares actually at the moment, so I might as well. But there you guys go. Enjoy. Good old little silver. Alright, anyways, let's go and we'll click out of this. Let me go bring up that since we're already here. Go to Terran's Road, go to Troops. Let me scroll down to the new mythic, which should be right here. Alright, oh, the troop art looks interesting. Copy link address. Open new tab, get blinded by the whiteness. And there we go. It has like a unicorn horn despite it being like a... Is that like a griffin? Oh, it's a phoenix. Oh, I guess funny. Like the phoenix, but it's a play on words. Because it's phoenix like the fox, but also phoenix like the actual phoenix. Like, you know, like a PH phoenix, not a FENIX phoenix. That's a really funny play on words. Is that an actual mythical creature? Like, that's a really funny play on words. Like, I know a phoenix is, and I know a phoenix is. But, is a phoenix like somewhat looks like this one? Because I don't think there is. But I like the play on words that they did. Like, it has an and. Deal magic +3 true damage to all enemies. Or summon 1 to 3 Vulpine Hunters. Interesting. Yes, it's good. Oh, Fox Cunning. Start with 25% mana. Gosh, that's such a bad trait, but in isolation, that's not bad. Let's just final trait. Bless and Enchant. Oh, wow, this is really good, actually. Not only is a full AoE true damager at base value, so it's kind of like a, almost like a Crimson Bat or Draculus, so a little bit weaker than Draculus in that regard. But, I would say the main thing that's actually good on it is final trait. The fact that it can full AoE true damage into its final trait actually seems really good. Bless Enchant per extra turn is really strong. Like, really, really strong. Like, things that do either or are already used occasionally. Just because of how strong they are. And to be able to do that every single time. Don't we actually have a mechanic like that right now? What was that one troop's name? I always forget him. Not Arc Proxy. No, it wasn't that. What was his name? Archdiva. Barrier and Bless. So what was this? This was Enchant and Bless. Oh, this is a really good. It doesn't have the barrier aspect to it, so it's really similar to what Archdiva does, which is why I thought was so familiar. Yeah, this is Barrier and Bless. This is Bless and Enchant. One thing really interesting about this is it's actually a really good counter to Spirit Gems, as well as just mana drain teams in general. Because Bless makes it so you won't get mana drained, at least for the duration until it's dropped. And Enchant makes it so you gain 2 extra mana every single turn. So it's a lot more of like a mana safe option. Whereas the other thing is, you know, just trying to keep you alive. Because Bless stops status effects and Barrier keeps you from protected against a hit. I wonder if they'll ever be used in a team together. You're Divine, right? Yeah, you could build a 4x Divine team out of that. Ooh, is Divine going to become re-meta again? That'd be funny. Are we going to get the return of the 4x Divine teams? Start to slowly come in? Is Archdiva plus Phoenix? That is 2 separate Blesses. With one of them getting Enchant and one of them getting Barrier. Every single time you take an extra turn. That's a lot of positive status effects. And you can't just curse that off. Because the way that Curse Bless interaction works is just simply the first curse that ends up getting applied to you. It simply just takes away the, it simply takes away, gosh, what we would call it. It takes away your like they cancel each other out, but it doesn't actually cancel your other effects. Like normally, let's say you have no effect on you. Let's say you just have Barrier on you and you get cursed. You will lose your Barrier. But if you have Bless and Barrier on you and you get cursed, you will only lose your Bless. Not both your Bless and your Barrier. So it basically cancels each other out. And that's going to be the same thing with this. So if someone applies Curse to your Bless Enchanted unit, they'll still be enchanted after the initial curse. Only if they double curse you would they end up also removing it. I don't know, it definitely has a lot of potential. I'm curious to see how it works out. But that's definitely a strong start for end or mechanics, or not end ors, but you know, and mechanics that you can do either or. I'm pretty sure its summon is pretty underwhelming, but the fact that you could do its summons, I guess, okay. The strongest combination would be if something ever has the option to, like do a ridiculously high amount of damage, combined with like a really good board control. Anything that has that kind of either or is going to be rather interesting. This one's just a summon, so its other option is almost never going to be used. Like 95% of the time, if not more, it's going to go down the true damage route. It's also mostly only used for its final trait as well, because there's a really strong final trait on it. Not the strongest in the game, but definitely pretty high up there. Yeah, the next mythic's actually pretty good. It is pretty good. Phoenix is the Greek mythological equivalent of the phoenix. Is it really? Interesting. I did not know that. That would explain their similarity then. Hey, a Volky in our Volky. It's always funny when that happens. Yeah, that's basically why I was saying the double mechanic might become very broken if they keep adding good options. Because it is basically like having two troops, in a sense. Because that's one restriction that Gems of War has had for the longest of longest times. Is that you can only ever have 4 casts on your team. They might have, like, mechanics where they will randomly get a different type of cast. Like, you know, the ones that have, like, 3 different options, but it's random which one they do. But having the actual ability to choose which one you can do, while having multiple options, is really nice, because that basically increases your, assuming a meta will ever develop where you can run 4 of them, which we're still far away from that. But if that ever does, that means you can go from having a team of 4 casts to a team of 8 casts, which in premise is ridiculously broken beyond belief, but it really just comes down to how many good options are they going to add over time. Because as long as they don't overdo it, it's going to be kind of balanced. But we could eventually reach a meta where the average team uses like 3 to 4 different end mechanics, where you basically have 6 to 8 total casts on your team instead of just a standard 4. Because that is a very likely future we might have. But it really just depends how many good ones they add, or just even how many they add in general. Because if it's mostly only going to be in a new kingdom, then there's not going to be that many. But if that mechanic starts to come into like every single kingdom and every single troop type, to the point where we have like 100 different options, then the average team is going to be using like 3+ different double options. Like the old single options won't be completely invalidated, obviously. They still have unique traits. They probably have some abilities here and there that will still be good. But we could eventually shift to a meta where like nothing but double cast troops will ever be used. Or at least primarily them. Same thing happened with mana accumulators. There was a point where you did not actually run mana accumulators on your team because they were kind of slow. Like, there were some metas where mana accumulators were not used. But ever since Leprechaun, as well as just more magic coming into the game, making Thrall, Marilith, stuff like that really ridiculously strong, basically every team always has a mana accumulator. Like, you just have to use one. Otherwise your team is way too slow. Actually, one thing I could see being added to the game if they ever become too strong is a anti-double cast troop. Like something that specifically does more damage to a unit if they have a double cast. One thing I would actually really love for them to add in that regard, which I'm surprised they never did in the when goblins were like the ultra meta. They've always been good, but they've been like the only thing used at some points within the game. But I would love to see them add a troop that does extra damage to something that has an extra turn ability, and does extra turn or extra damage to something that has a double ability, as in the and mechanic that they're adding. These would be great ways to counter things that are ridiculously strong. I'm still kind of surprised that to this day there is none for the extra turn one. The closest thing we got was Freeze, of course, which was meant to counter those kind of options. But we've never gotten a troop that can deal more damage to an automatic extra turn thing. Like, you know, like goblins. Like, I don't mean like board control extra turn, but I mean specifically in the text of their card saying gain extra turn. So like Beatrix, Truffle, all goblins, stuff like that. All those that have a guaranteed extra turn. Or actually, technically, hers isn't guaranteed. But any of them that have like a guaranteed extra turn, having like some kind of hard counter to it, that isn't freeze, but specifically like double damage or triple damage to them. It's a mechanic I kind of always wanted that they've never added. And I could see that happening to the and mechanic, where it becomes so strong they just need an ultra hard counter to it. Like something that does triple damage only to the and mechanic troops. Or you could disable one to cast to make them single cast. I don't know, I kind of would want them to always have both of their options, because that's kind of one of the points in using them. Is to always be able to have both. Because the problem that would do is all the ones that are weaker of the category would just be way too weak to bother using at that point. Because you know they're going to add some bad ones. It's inevitable. Okay, we've only gotten one really good orb so far. We can get a few more. At least one more. We ended last night with a gold. We got a silver earlier. I was hoping that would be a bronze. Finish our collection. We have enough bronze, though. Having more bronze would always be great. You can never have enough bronze. Let me actually take the red first. I want to do this so we get that down. I'm playing this as if it's like a pet battle. Oh no, now it's blocking the mana, but we still got the second one there. Because on pet battles, you normally want to go get Phoenicia to full mana before you cast your first Leprechaun. You can double cast your Marilith that way. I mean, not your Marilith, I mean your Phoenicia. Oh, they both share the same colors, red, green. Wasn't that event week this week too, the red-green restriction on Tuesday? Pretty easy one. Particularly for the pure faction. That one brown green tank is just so absurdly good. There should be a troop whose cast power is to steal the other troop's main power. Like your troop can choose any of the troop's power, like Zolgoth instead of insta-kill, and choose the enemy to use against it. There's somewhat a mechanic like that. There's a troop that you can literally mimic one of your enemy troops. So even if you don't have that mythic, you can still use the mythic. It's actually a funny way that you could potentially try a team early on. Is find a team that has the mythic that you're looking for, then use the mimic troop to copy it, and then test the team with it in it. These little, it can copy any troop regardless if you own it or not. Like, that's the closest we currently have to that mechanic. It's not really that efficient to use, though. But it does kind of exist, somewhat. To a very minute degree, but like it's kind of there. Alright, we're almost at the 100 key mark again today. So We did 100 yesterday, 100 today, and probably 200 this weekend. We might do some amount of the arena event. Still to be determined. We're definitely at least doing one battle, because one battle, or one set of battles for 3 gem keys, that's definitely worth it. Everything beyond that is questionable value. Oh yeah, that doppelganger can also do it. The one that can immediately mimic it is just a little bit more convenient because it just replaces it outright. Whereas the other one needs one of your slots to be dead. Yeah, we didn't get an old Valentine's Day pet this Saturday. But we do have a new one coming out next Wednesday for the new kingdom. For the Wargear Kingdom. We're getting the hero class for it soon too. Which should be interesting to see how that pans out, as there are some pretty strong Wargears in the game. At least a small handful of them. Like, Wargear as a typing's pretty underwhelming. But some of the best Wargear actually are somewhat decent. Also, if I'm not mistaken, isn't Lord of Slaughter a construct Wargear? So far, he currently works better in the construct category than in the Wargear category. But that could change after next kingdom. Because he is, right? I'm not going crazy. I'm almost guarantee he is, yeah, he's a Wargear construct. And arguably the strongest Wargear in the game. As well as just one of the strongest troops in general in the game. The main reason you just don't see me using it too much is, he's kind of situational when you bring him out. And it's mostly only used for, like, Guild War, PvP, occasionally for Explore 12 if you want to go down that route. All locations we haven't been playing as much recently. Well, Guild Wars we still do every time, but you know what I mean. Like PvP and Explore 12 we haven't been doing as much recently. Yeah, I didn't mean, like, actually becoming the troop. I was mostly just mentioning that because, the mechanic does already exist, or at least that version of it. Yeah, what you're mentioning is slightly different. Yeah, Pokemon does have a few mechanics like that. Trace, Skill Swap. And I think there might be a third. But Trace and Skill Swap both do it. They both are permanent, not just a turn. Or at least permanent until death. Or basically just copies their ability. Like, that actually would be cool if you could basically take on all 3 traits of the enemy. Like a low rarity troop that can just take on the traits of an enemy while still having its own unique ability. Like a really high damage poke, but the thing it pokes it takes its abilities from. And it'd be even stronger if everything it starts with is, actually, that'd be funny if they did an Empower version of that. Could you imagine? An Empower troop that's almost like Siren, but instead of creating gems, it does damage to an enemy and takes on all 3 of their traits. While having Empower and maybe some other on start of turn, or start of battle traits. So not only would it get benefit from all of its start of battle traits, but it will also get the benefit perpetually of whatever it targets. And you'd basically take on whatever 3 traits they have. That would be an interesting premise. Because generally the way that you counter stuff like that is to use the similar. Like if the enemy team is running Curse Stun, you just Curse Stun quicker than them. Having an alternative way of like copying their ability and then doing it that way could be cool. Where you're still like a Curse Stun race, but you could have like a different option and then have like a stunner. Like you could copy their cursor and then end up just stunning with your Obsidias. I said, hello, EX. Welcome, welcome. Anyone with some good Diamantia teams? Generally, Diamantias ran with double Diamantia in the middle, surrounded by mana accumulators. Where you have 1 mana accumulator in first slot and 1 mana accumulator in the last slot. Which is normally Hero doing some kind of trait to help it out. Or really any kind of support. Because the premise of the team is super easy to mana accumulate in first slot, followed by double Diamantia, followed by one other thing. That one other thing is basically support. You could run a double Storm there. You could run Hero there. You can run pretty much anything you want there. But the base premise of the team is really absurdly good mana accumulator in first. Double Diamantia follow-up into a last slot of either Hero if you want to get some class XP for it, or double Storm, or even just Leprechaun if you want to go down that route. And that's basically what every Diamantia team is. There actually isn't too much variety that you could do with it. Mostly because the base of the team is already done. It's double Diamantia, so you can't really use a different damage source. Like you could use like 1 Diamantia with something else, but double Diamantia. If you're already committing a team to 1 Diamantia, like there's no reason not to commit it to double. Unless you do want to go down like the double Storm route or something, where you go like Thrall, Diamantia, a double Stormer in third, followed by like Leprechaun. You know, we're gonna test our luck. Oh no, we almost got it. I should just went for the red. Luckily in this battle, Gnomes running away does not actually do anything. This is the only battle in the game where Gnomes that flee still give you their loot. In every other circumstance, you will not get the loot. This is mostly a leftover mechanic when Vault Keys used to be way up harder to obtain. But to this day, they still have left the mechanic in the game, and hopefully we'll never undo it. It's the only area where Gnomes that have ran away still give their full loot, rather than giving you nothing. Doing it with Bronze-like Pistol. The problem with Bronze-like Pistol is it has startup time. Like you have to wait until you get the gold. Like it doesn't take that long to get the gold, but like the very first cast of it tends to suffer from it. But every subsequent cast is a billion destroys. It'd be good if they have a resummon, because one thing that Diamantia is somewhat bad at is if the enemy keeps resummoning over and over again. Though in all fairness, most AoE teams have that issue. It makes up for it slightly by having that skull mechanic, but it doesn't actually create any more skulls off of its ability. It just makes them into bigger skulls. Yeah, we'll do a few more keys and then probably call it there. Until tomorrow, and then we'll do arena event and just go straight back to the Vault Grinds. Probably do like 1 cycle of arena. Hey, 19 event keys. And unfortunately, no new troop, no new nothing tomorrow. However, we have a brand new kingdom coming out next week and everything that entails. So even though this weekend's going to be a little bit lighter on content, next week we will have plenty of things. So a good weekend to relax. There's no particularly big objectives this weekend. Because we're not getting we seem to not be getting a Saturday Valentine's Day pet. There's still a chance we do. At this point, it seems like we're not getting one. Meaning the only thing we have all weekend is just arena event. Which means we have no event going on. For arena event. I wonder if they're actually going to do a special one. Like Imp of Love being auto-drafted or something. Probably not. They added that mechanic to it and used it like 2 or 3 times and then never did again. Oh yeah, you can run it with the half mana start Essentia. A lot of teams do run that way. And you do need to be up front so it doesn't block the Storm. Because the only reason you ever want to override a Storm is if you're going a double. But normally you just use the Storm attached to the Diamantia itself. I hope we get another 50% Mana Star Dragon at some point. Come on, one more orb. I want to at least see one more orb so we can test our luck at least. And hopefully have good luck. We ended last night on a gold medal, so we can't top that. Unless we get like a pet orb. Come on, show me a major. Show me any orb. Just want one more orb before we end. Ideally, the good variety of them. Another tarot card with some gems. Not quite what we're looking for, though. Eventually. We will find this thing. There we go. Okay, final orb of the stream. Is it a good one? No! Agreed. How could he do such a thing? That hurts. Oh, there's the 2 redeem codes we handed out earlier. And we'll have more this weekend. Every single day, as we always do. Anyways, guys, I guess we'll end it here for now. Tomorrow's game plan is I'll probably start with an arena event, which we'll probably cycle through just once. And then probably just mess with Valkyrie grind. And just kind of do that. Try to consume as much as we can before next Vault event. Of course, next Vault event in 3 weekends from now. And March 3rd, I believe, is the date. So I do want to chip down our stack before then. We're currently sitting at about 1,600. Well, a little bit less, but around there. We should be able to get that to like 1,300 this weekend. Which means, actually, that means we would have consumed every single Vault key we earned since the Vault event. Because if I'm not mistaken, we started at 1,300 at the start of last Vault event. Which means, yeah, we would have consumed every single Vault key by then. So that means we consumed them all pretty much within a week, so that's pretty cool. But anyways, guys, have a wonderful, wonderful week, a wonderful weekend. And I'll catch you guys later. Goodbye, everyone. Thank you so much for watching, as always. And definitely feel free to leave a like on the stream. Helps a lot and is greatly appreciated. Catch you guys later. Goodbye, everyone.